All right, Kevin, this is a special episode. I think we need to do this intro a little bit differently. What do you think?
I think we should as well. Let's do this.
The 8th annual We Love Christian Music Awards is here. Celebrating the absolute best Christian artists, songs, and releases of 2019. Powered by the leading Christian music site online, newreleasetoday.com. And sponsored exclusively by Visible Music College, preparing Christian musicians, producers, and managers for music ministry and the music industry.
It is award season, Kevin. I am excited.
Yes, it's here.
And nominees get launched today, or the nominees are announced today. Voting launches today. Something's launching today.
All the things are launching today.
I am excited, and this is the 8th annual. Like it said, you've been doing this for 8 years now. This is my second year with this. It's going to be awesome.
It is. I feel like I really have been doing it for 8 years. This consumes like 5 months out of my year every year, but it's such a cool thing to work on. It's my baby. I've grown it. I've loved it. We have some amazing partners this year again, and it's just God's blowing this thing up bigger and bigger every year. So it's been a lot of fun.
I know I've had a lot of fun, in our internal chats, just discussing, getting ready for this, just talking about who should be there, who shouldn't be. It's been a lot of fun just even getting up to this point, and it's awesome that it's finally here, that we see a little bit of the progress going forward instead of just talking behind the scenes.
Right. I don't think people realize how much work goes into this, but we're here. The finish line is here, and now we get to present it to the public and go into phase 2, and I'm excited to see how people vote. So
what's different this year than last year?
We've got a slight change of the categories. A lot of the same. I mean, we try not to fix what is broken, but the thing that I love about the We Love Christian Music Awards is that it does look different every single year. And I think it's because we're not committee run. We're just a bunch of music fans, and so we try to adjust with where music is going. And so this year we do have a new song category. Last year we introduced song categories for the first time in the We Love Awards. And this year we're adding a rock song of the year category, which is great. It's our second rock category, which is really a genre that's kind of ignored in Christian Music Awards. So I'm excited about that. And we are making a lot of plans for our event with Visible Music College. We've got Crystal here with us today. We're going to talk to her a little bit more about Visible and what they're bringing to the table, and making a lot of plans for that, and just expanding the vision of what that winner's ceremony can look like and be. And of course, we're going to have a different trophy. We've always had a different trophy every single year, so working on the new design there. But yeah, we got a bunch of new nominees. That kind of comes with the territory, I guess. So those are what's new this year.
So do we get to see the trophy design tomorrow or today, or are you still keeping that under wraps?
That is under wraps. And by under wraps, I mean I haven't worked on it at all yet. So it comes together. But yeah, we haven't started design yet. I've got a few ideas.
And so you did a live nominee release party last year, 2 hours, one heck of a marathon. Are we doing that again this year, or
no?
Is this it?
No, there are things that you do and you try, and then you get done with it, and like, well, that was a lot of work with very little return, and that's okay. We experiment with different ways to have fun. So this right now, you are the experiment this year. This is our live launch party, is right here on your podcast, and I thought, well, man, you've been working your tail off on this, and why not combine our two worlds together into this? So this is what we are doing to announce the nominees.
I'm honored that this is our launch party. I'm definitely okay with being an experiment.
We'll see. If this doesn't work, then I'm canning you. We're doing something different next year. So I'm just kidding.
Once was fun.
Once was fun. Yes.
So what are you excited most about the 8th annual, this year's version of the We Loves?
That we're doing it again. Honestly, this is like a marathon, and training for the marathon is not really fun. But once you're in it, you're like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. Like the race is on. And so all year I've been full honesty. That's what the podcast provides, right? All year I've been dreading. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so worn out from last year. It was just a lot of work, a ton of fun. And we did things we've never done before. but it just seemed like I needed a big breather. And then the year just shot by. I don't know if anybody else's year shot by.
100%.
Yes.
Then we start playing. And yes. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Should we introduce Crystal now?
We should introduce Crystal now.
No, sorry. I said yes out loud. My internal monologue
Crystal,
went on.
What are you doing? Everybody, say hi to Crystal. She is at the California campus of the Visible Music College team, and they are spread out all over, and really excited to have them back for the third year as exclusive partners with us. And this will be the second year that we're having our winter ceremony at Visible Music College campus in Memphis. And so Crystal is a rock star, and I'm excited that she's said yes to joining us.
You are so kind. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, hi, Crystal. And, it's awesome that you took the time to hang out with us crazy kids, and we apologize in advance for our nuttiness.
I am so excited to hang out with you crazy kids and speak about all the things in the music business and in the We Love Music Award world. We are very excited and honored to be a part of the conversation. So yeehaw! Let's get her done.
Crystal was not part of our first year, so this is our third year together. And really, you came on board last year to help us launch this at the campus in Memphis.
Correct.
So I would love to know what you are excited about with the We Love Awards, just as a partner with us. What are you excited to see?
Well,
we'll put you on the spot right from the top.
No, it's awesome. I love on the spot. So anytime I add a new event or a new thing to my calendar for the year, I give myself a lot of grace, and I give a lot of the people involved a lot of grace, because I just want to kind of experience it. Obviously, there's a lot of work that goes in tandem when we partner with people, and I love that. And so I had no real expectation for how the event was going to look, how it was going to be working with Kevin. And I was so blown away, and I was so excited. It was just after the show was over and after meeting Kevin and his wife and his team, it was just 100% all in. How can we make this even better next year? How can we grow this long term? And hands down, every single person on staff at the Memphis campus who was there and participating students was just, holy cow, that was so amazing. Let's do that again. And so I cannot encourage you guys enough at New Release today. And we love that. It's just, you have our heart forever. And we're so excited and we're so honored to have you guys back again. And I'm looking forward to the on-site event, just getting everybody into Memphis. I think Memphis is easily overlooked as far as like a music city when you are only 3 hours away from Nashville. But kind of the community of musicians that are in Memphis, and almost like, for lack of better description, like that down home feel that Nashville is kind of becoming like a little bit of a Las Vegas feel. Memphis kind of offers that you're at home kind of feel. Yeah. And I really like that. I do like the chill thing. And so I love to invite people to Memphis. I love to fly into Memphis and hang out with people there. So anyway, yes, we're excited.
That's cool.
Yep.
I'd love to talk about my experience in Memphis. It was the first time visiting the city last year, so I'd love to talk about that. But first, Jake, I feel like I need to give a 10,000-foot view of what the We Love Awards is, because there might be someone listening who has no idea what we're talking about, first and foremost. So let me do that here real quick.
Please do.
So the We Love Christian Music Awards is kind of put together by New Release Today, by the team at New Release Today. So the editorial team picks 5 nominees. This year we have 23 categories, so it's just a massive amount of recognition. We select both from signed artists and the label system, as well as independents. So right there is incredibly unique with what we do. Just to give listeners an appreciation for that, Dev Awards rarely, if ever, nominates a independent artist. I think in the past 3 years they've nominated just 2 independent artists. And so I do not think that the Dev Awards does a good job of looking at how our industry is set up and how the music industry is set up right now. So that's huge right there. Of course, the Caleb Fan Awards are smaller. They do an amazing job. It looks beautiful. They do a good job. It's for Caleb audience. And so it's very selective on the artist. And then also they don't nominate independent artists as well. So I don't want to knock what they do. I just want to differentiate what we do. We're looking at the entire industry as a whole and putting the top 5 nominees, both albums, artists, and songs. And we put that out there for a public vote. And so our team has been debating hard about who these nominees are for the past couple months. I feel like we did come up with a really good list of nominees in those 23 categories. Now we turn those over to public voting for 8 weeks. And so we just launched that today, and then that goes all the way through January 31st, 2020. And so you've got 8 weeks to vote. The public votes on those. And then a month later, we come together. This year, it'll be at Visible Music College in Memphis, Tennessee. And we come together for what we call Together We Love. And that is the event where we celebrate not only the winners, we announce all the winners there, but we also try to celebrate all the nominees, because what we want the We Love Christian Music Awards to be is a huge music discovery outlet. That's great that we're awarding artists and all that, but we really want people to discover what's new in Christian music this year. Our nominees are chosen from anything released from January 1st to December 31st of a calendar year. So that's the 10,000-foot view of what we're talking about. The voting is now started. That's up to everybody listening. You guys get to choose the winners, which is awesome. And then we head over to Memphis in February. The event is actually going to be Tuesday, February 25th. Mark your calendars. It's going to be broadcast live online, so you can watch it. We have artists show up and presentations, but we just celebrate all the nominees. So there's your 10,000-foot view.
So, Crystal, one thing that I'm interested in, from the Visible Music side, having this hosted live, we had Jasmine Murray last year hosting the award show and all that. What does that do for the students of Visible Music College being involved and being a huge partner with this all?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So a lot of these students attend our college in order to be a part of the industry as they, graduate and move on into their professional careers. And for them to sit in the audience, for them to hang out backstage, for them even to see like the vibrancy of such a special event coming on campus, to which is like their home because they live on site. They were just blown away. Like, oh, whoa, okay, we want to be involved in this. What is this? Tell me more. And so I think, again, that first year, kind of really seeing what it is that we're sending content out about and participating in it was a really huge moment for our students. And last year, Kevin had a fantastic idea to let one of our student bands open for the live event. And so just the opportunity to share the stage with the artists that we had come in for the event. I was very proud of our students. A lot of them engaged with those artists and asked them, hey, if you had anything to advise me on, what would you say? And they really took that time to, introduce themselves to a lot of the artists and spend time with them and take pictures with them. And so not only was it a very just poignant moment for their young career, they also kind of got to see like, gosh, if I really stay consistent with my work ethic, if I keep putting myself out there, really cool opportunities can come to me. And look at just all of the amazing people that we were able to share about at that event, and they wanted to be a part of that. So it's just really cool.
Kevin, I'll flip it to the NRT side. What's been special about this partnership with Visible other than just, a place to host the Together We Love?
Well, it's been people coming alongside us with a similar vision and support of the vision at large. I think anytime you can dream up something this big, it requires more vision than I'm able to produce with our resources, with our time, with our people. I'm not I'm not a tech guy. I can't provide a stage. I can provide the skeleton of what an award show can be, but I literally cannot provide an award show setting. And so to have a team come on board and say, not only are we going to provide you with these things that you need, we're going to believe in you. We're here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just doing this for the recognition and our sponsorship logo. We truly do believe in the future of what you are doing. And for me, that has been invaluable. I mean, you're hearing Crystal's passion right here. That extends throughout the entire team at Visible. And, you know, I think it's fun to dream in stages too. I just see a lot of big vision just crap out. I was trying to figure out a different way to say that.
Sometimes
just
the words
big
are there.
burnout. Maybe that's there. It always comes after you say it, right? You know, just a big vision burnout because it was too big. And the thing that I appreciate about Visible is they're like, let's look at the long game here and get there step by step and do each step well instead of stumble along trying to be the next Dev Awards or be the next Caleb Fan Awards. That is not our goal. Our goal is to connect the audience with music. I love how we do that. I love how we're talking about doing that. I love how we won't do that this year, but maybe we'll do that next year. So there's just a lot of future planning going on. I'm just sitting here going, that's a God thing. It makes me want to show up with excellence in every step of the way.
Oh, it totally is. I know. I can't echo that any more than what you just said, Kevin. I mean, there's this moment that I feel like is palpable with some of our partnerships that we are transitioning, and also honoring kind of indie music is just the core of who we are at the college. And original music. Kevin and I have had some cool conversations about making sure we're aware to promote and shout loudly about all different kinds of Christian music, rock, rap, everything. You know, we want to reach every generation with the truth. And what does that look like? And what role do we take in, you know, helping let people know about that? And that's definitely something that Visible is so passionate about. We train, we equip, we send out. And that's definitely, I think, the heart behind the We Love Awards is like, this is a proclamation of hard work, people investing in the kingdom, and we just want to let people know about it. And so we love partnering with everybody at New Release Today, and we love.
I think the fans see that too. They sense that this is not corporate gloss.
Right.
They sense that this is bigger than that, you know, and that's really where we want to live. We just want to connect with the audience in a way that they're not being connected with. And I talk to so many music fans throughout the year who are really disconnected with the award system. I'm just excited to give them something else. Like, these are awards. Yes, we have nominees. Yes, the process looks the same, but the result is incredibly different. I hope we find new ways to communicate that each year.
Well, let's start talking about some of the nominees here that everybody gets to vote on. And this year, I'm very thankful that I'm not responsible for having to pick the winners, because
oh my gosh,
it's incredible the list that we have in some of these categories.
Yeah. Picking the nominees was tough. I mean, there were some nominees where there were some categories where we literally had 15, 16 solid nominees that were all pretty much a virtual tie. I mean, you go on YouTube and Spotify, look at their audience size and how they're tracking, and they're all just, how do you pick? It was a challenge. Definitely. There was some shuffling around, but I think we got there. But yeah, picking the winners, no idea. I have no idea. It's why I always try to celebrate the nominees, you know. I say the winner ceremony is not about the winners. We announce them and we celebrate them, but we really want to celebrate the nominees. So our focus are these 69 artists that we nominated in 23 categories. I'm excited to talk about them.
You know, and Skillet and Unspoken both have 5 nominations each, which really isn't any surprise to me. I mean, and Unspoken is just really, lately, just really blown up. in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised Unspoken tied. After we went through and tallied it up, I was like, wow. Skillet always shows up well in these awards. I mean, they continue to be at the top of their game, and it's hard not to not nominate them. I mean, and they dominate. They have such a huge fan base, and so you turn it over to the fans. On some of these categories, it does become a little bit of a popularity contest.
Well, but gosh, Skillet has been around for how long? I mean, it's like decades of fans, and they still continue to reach these younger generations. And so you got people in their 50s who are like, dude, yeah, I remember when Skillet came out. And you've got, 13, 14-year-olds like, dude, Skillet. It's, all that.
And they're not releasing junk music. Like, they're still at the top of their game, I think. Crystal, there's a really cool Skillet connection that I think you need to share.
Oh dear.
Oh no, it's fun. It's just good. What has been funny is because of my connection to Visible and my connection to Ken, people really misunderstand my story and somehow think I'm telling them that I was in Skillet. I'm
Who's
like,
Ken?
oh,
nobody knows.
golly,
Nobody knows who Ken is, so we need to introduce Ken.
So let's introduce Ken. So Ken is my direct boss, and Ken is the president and founder of Visible Music College. And just real quick, like the few sentence how and why Ken did and does what he does is he was one of the original members of Skillet. He and John Cooper started the band in Memphis. And I believe their first record deal was with Ardent, which is, old school Memphis record label. And they both went on tour together, obviously doing the early days of Skillet. And while Ken was on the road, he noticed kind of two types of bands opening for their act. And it was the amazing, talented musician who had very little understanding about ministry and a relationship with a pastor and accountability and whatnot. And then he also saw the sweetie pie musician that totally got it, but lacked in their skill. And so it was like, you're either really amazing or not so great. And he thought, surely there has to be a place that teaches and trains and equips both of these kinds of musicians to really be the whole package, to know who their identity is in, to walk with a bigger purpose than fame, and to actually play with fantastical skill. And so he started Visible Music College, and I think we still have some of those original pamphlets, but his whole deal was like his first year, he's like, I know, okay, I got to start this college. Went to all these music festivals and just passed out all these flyers that said, here's the music college that you always dreamed of. Here's the and all these people were like, okay, he had no idea if anybody was going to show up. And first day of class, I think he had like 20 to 22 students sign up. Yes. And
That's
our
incredible.
first building was in a catfish restaurant. And I joke about this all the time for our new students who are in this beautiful dorm. Is like whenever we turned the heater on back in the old days, it smelled like fried catfish. So it was like we went from that to this like Batman building that we have downtown now. Yeah, he just was super passionate about the music industry and the church and how that's done.
Crystal, how many years did it take from him passing out pamphlets to get into the current building that you're in now?
This is year 20, and we moved downtown 2011, 2012 was in that frame of time. So this is our 20-year anniversary for the school, and it's just amazing to have been a part of the beginning phases and also, the current phase that we're in as we actually branch out and have several satellite sites and different campuses in different states, and we've become more of a global community. It's been a wild ride. But yeah, Ken is, original lead guitarist of Skillet, and he's been my boss the entire time I've worked there. And so I know him and I work with him every day. I cannot tell you how many times I am with him where people freak out and have a full-on like skillet meltdown fan moment, and it's like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh my gosh, you're Ken Stortz.
Well,
oh my gosh,
it's pretty cool.
Yes, and it's
I mean,
so
he's in all the promo. I mean, he's in the band.
He is.
There's videos of him playing. He's
yes.
Yeah, I think he was.
We recently
Satellite. I watched that video just a couple weeks ago, and there's Ken.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is freaking me out.
Oh, it's totally Ken. I know, and people like freak out about it. Oh my gosh! So it's sweet and amazing, and my husband
hands him a pamphlet.
He does.
Come
Here, come to my college. Yeah, exactly. Come to my college. So that's Ken, and so we have a deep, tie to Skillet, and love for their ministry, and just solid people, and we're just, it's really cool. So that's the Skillet connection. So we're always huge fans anytime Skillet is on there.
That's awesome, and I think it's been a really fun connection. So to see Skillet now lead the nominees, it's kind of a fun.
Yes.
It's a fun little tidbit, but
yes.
So they're leading with
and
Unspoken.
They started in Memphis.
That's crazy.
It's so awesome. Anyway, go ahead.
And they're going to be performing on Together We Love because Ken's going to phone in a favor, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Let's work that out. I know.
We'll waive that 50,000 six-figure appearance fee for my buddy.
Yeah,
Ken.
Let's do that. Come on. We're old friends.
So we've also got, so they're leading with 5 nominations each. Tying with 4 nominations each are Andy Mineo, Danny Goki, 10th Avenue North, We Are Messengers, and new group Switch, which has Best Song of the Year. I think they're only like the second or third new artist to get Song of the Year nominees in We Love Awards. And so their song Symphony has just been massive this year. They got 4 nominations off of that. So those are the artists that are leading the charge. Of those artists, we've got 19, I think. I need to look that up. Hold on. I don't know if off the top of my head. 19 artists who are independent. And so I don't know if that's right. And now I need to look. Let's see. By label. Hold on. I had it pulled up here. Do you know it, Jake?
No, but I'm trusting you.
17. That was close. 17 artists, independent artists who have nominations as well, which is cool.
That's something that I've been loving on the podcast here as well is, the next big thing, talking about the indie artists and, kind of the new and the up and coming. We've done 2 of those episodes so far. I mean, it's something I went into it a little experimental, like full disclosure. It was, John Tibbs kind of came up with the idea, an indie artist, up and coming artist and stuff. And, I was like, let's give it a ride. And it's something that I've really loved doing, both times that we've done it so far. And, just there's a lot of awesome stuff happening in the indie space.
Mm-hmm. There is. Like, this group of nominees this year are probably the most off the map that we have ever had, which I'm personally excited about. I think the fans are going to see these nominees and go, I don't know any of these. That's the point.
Exactly.
But, some of these artists have like 200-300 monthly followers on Spotify. I mean, they are way off the map, but some amazing music. And you've got Cape Lions, which are more like urban and hip hop. They're doing a lot of mainstream stuff. So think 21 Pilots type-ish direction. Always going to have faith in their music, but definitely not writing music for Caleb. You have Caleb Carino, which is a new singer-songwriter who's got some great pop stuff. Attaboy is kind of a pop, very pop EDM type feel. And then you've got the Cashmans and Wild Harbors, which are 2 husband and wife duos. I hope we can get one of them on the show because they just play some beautiful acoustic music. So a lot of cool music discovery there.
Yeah, as I'm looking through the nominees, I got to admit I'm a little partial to some of them because we've had quite a few of them on the podcast so far. Some of the artists that we've had on the podcast are well up in the nominees list. We have Elevation in there, Citizen Way, Skillet. Going back to what you're talking about, Crystal, a lot of it's just the story, just getting to hear the stories and, just the heart behind their music. That's what it's all about.
Yes. I cannot agree more. It's about your story. I think daily, because I also run the record label for the college. It's like, what's your story, man? Like, who cares if you can play something? What is your
Yeah.
story? Because that is 100% the why. And when you're drawn into something, it's like, gosh, I want to see that go to the next level. I want to support that. I want to be intentional when they release something to, download their next thing or whatever. So yeah, that's so huge. One thing that's sticking out to me that I really, really love in the new artist group of the year. Can we talk about that category? Any of these people?
You can.
Tyrion with Goatee. She's actually a Visible alum. Do we know that? Yeah. And we got
did,
her
only because you told me like a couple weeks ago.
Right.
I think that's a really cool connection.
It's so cool. We got her on American Idol, and she got kind of noticed or picked up by Toby Mac's world, and her amazing manager. They're based out of Memphis, Tennessee. Like, she was just at the campus in August when I was there, and her manager, Jill Dyson, she's heavily involved with the industry, and she's done her own stuff. Super great, cool people.
Man, if she can come on the show and sing her song, those are the showstoppers, because incredible voice.
Yes, please.
She's touring with Toby Mac. She's kind of she's the new Nerva, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. She's so fantastic. I already started that text when I opened your document today. So yay for that.
Yay.
Yeah.
Excellent. We will be praying for that conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
Another artist I'm excited in that category is We the Kingdom. Have you guys heard of them?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Holy Water, I think is the name of the song.
Holy Water is the name of the song.
Do they do Holy
Water?
Water?
Yes. Yeah. They're all kind of singer-songwriter family. Been in the industry forever. I think Ed Cash is in the group.
Oh, no
I think, right? Am I getting that right?
I'll
I
believe
don't know.
you.
I believe you. I don't know.
Yeah, and so it's like his cousin and nephew's niece, and all like they're all coming together, and it's kind of like when you have that best friend who can do all the sports, can pick up, or the guy in the worship team that can play every single instrument. You're just like, shut up, go away.
I know, you're so talented. I hate you.
That's like the Cash family right now. It's
my
really,
goodness.
every single one of you are amazing. Give me a break.
I know,
but yeah, they're gonna be one to watch.
And what you were talking about, Crystal, in the Female Artist of the Year, Tasha Layton, that's exactly my connection with her too. Is like I actually found out about her from a random Instagram follow. All of a sudden I got a notification, Tasha Layton is now following you. I'm like, who's Tasha Layton?
Who's Tasha Layton? Yeah, exactly.
And so just reading her story, and that's actually our next podcast episode is an interview with Tasha, and just seeing her story and just seeing the progress that she's made over the year, and just the singles that have come out, the EP that's come out, it's just phenomenal. I mean, the story is almost better than the music.
Right. Right. It's true. It's like our testimony. I think we forget the power of our testimony and what that looks like to people, and just the most random things that are shared and people connect with that. I mean, that's what music is. Oh my gosh. I mean, if big picture, it's like I connect with that, or that reminds me of that time, or I feel this feeling when I hear this music. That's the universal language. I think that's why music is such a powerful tool for God and the kingdom, is that it just reaches beyond so many other things that exist. And that's why I'm so passionate about the medium.
I hope as everybody goes through these nominees, that you will really scour them for artists and songs that you don't know, because they were all chosen for that reason right there, what Crystal just said. And if you're looking for great stories, great messages, every single one of these artists and songs have them. And so discover some new music. Use this as an opportunity to fill your playlist with some stuff maybe you haven't heard before. That's my hope. I mean, it'd be cool if you vote. It'd be cool if you participate, but my hope is that you discover a lot more music that can impact your day. So.
Well, we need both, right?
Voting and impact?
Yeah. Vote and fill your playlist with new stuff.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right.
One order.
I was trying to not be selfish and say if I'm going to choose one or the other, that's more important than voting. But yeah, you're right. Yes, we need both. We need both.
I'll let you take the humble route, and I'll do the promo push.
I know, exactly. We'll promote you, Kevin. We'll promote you.
That works. That works for me.
Everybody vote, please, now.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Couple questions, Kevin. So what was the hardest category to find nominations for? What was the lightest nomination category?
Well, it's probably the ones I don't live in very often. So it's the rock and the rap categories. I don't know if that's a fair question, but I had to really rely on others, like our team, for those, and just kind of go, okay, not that I have the final say. Right, yeah. I mean, not that I have the final say, but I trusted the team a lot. But those categories, I was just like, sure. But the hardest one for me, and really for the team at large, I think, was the Song of the Year. We had 17, 18 songs that were in the running for Song of the Year. But I love how we now have, like we didn't have this 2 years ago. I love how we now have Song of the Year categories. So we have Contemporary Song of the Year, Worship Song of the Year, Pop Song of the Year, and Rock Song of the Year, and Rap Hip Hop Song of the Year. Actually, at the beginning of this podcast conversation, I believe I said Rock Song of the Year was new. That was incorrect. Rap Song of the Year is new. That's the new category for us. So we were able to say, okay, these are the 5 songs that are amazing and top, but these other 10 songs have to fit. And so having those genre-specific song categories lets us dive deeper into that. What are the best songs of 2019? But yeah, those song categories are tough, especially with the album categories. You're really looking at a complete work. And with the song categories, now you're talking about single releases as well. And we all know singles are the way artists release music. And so, you have a ton more stuff to review in the single category than you have maybe complete albums. So yeah, it makes it a lot tougher.
And I know we had some categories, like Song of the Year, where we had, it seemed like 18 million, nominees to pick from, and then categories like Female Artist of the Year, that was kind of slim pickings.
Yeah. Where's the women? Come on, Crystal.
I know. That's the thing.
Your gender were not represented well this year.
No, I know. I feel like that's like annually. I think that even came up with the Grammys. Like, well, women step it up, because all the women were complaining that we didn't get nominated or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, I have the same issue. I've got a label that definitely has females on it, but it's male driven. So it
is, but it cannot be. I mean, last year we had every female artist that exists release new music, I think. So it's very
yes.
What's the word?
Cyclical.
I was going to say cynical, but that's not the right word for this conversation.
No,
I know. How I'm feeling right now. Cyclical, is that right? Whatever.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah. So next year, hopefully everybody, all the women are working on great music now. Then we're going to get that next year. But it was slim pickings. It was hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree completely.
That is a category, and just to highlight how slim that category was. 3 of the 5 nominees are brand new artists. Mm-hmm. So you've got Ellie Linebear, you've got Riley Clemens, and Tasha Layton. Everybody else was asleep at the wheel this year, I feel.
Well, it's because we're barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. So that's...
Well, I wasn't quite going there, but it seems like this is a year for pregnancies too.
It's true.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's so beautiful. I think women get so worried about being all things, and it's just golly, just
Very
be a woman and be cool with that. Be a dude and be cool with that. Let's stop throwing that out. It's just man. Anyway,
I've actually had a lot. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go.
No, I was just going to say I actually have had a lot of challenges on these 2, the Male Artist of the Year and Female Artist of the Year. I've been told that these categories should not be part of the award system.
So
we should not be celebrating specific gender.
So dumb. That's why we have this. It's dumb. That's why we have this award show, because we will remind people hey, let's celebrate and honor both and all. And it's just man. What's happening to our world?
I was actually thinking of, just out of spite, next year doing every category and having 46 categories.
There you go.
And so we'll do pop album of the year by a female and
Yes.
pop album of the year by male.
Should we start doing age
Just
brackets?
to make your point. Yeah. Right. Oh, gosh.
The senior award.
The gray hair award. The silver hair award.
The tween award, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Which actually, that might be an interesting idea.
So much opportunity.
Yes.
Should we end there, Jake?
I don't know.
No. He's like, no.
Should we? Or
please.
let's keep unpacking it. Let's get like more and more freaky and make everyone sweat a little bit more. Like, am I allowed to say that?
Well, we could end on Kanye. We could do it. We could end on
dude.
there.
Might as well. We're talking about gender neutrality and Kanye West. I mean, I think we'll just like go out with a bang.
There you go.
I'm super stoked about Kanye. I don't know about you guys. That freaks people out when I say that. And they're like, oh, but he says all these things and does all these things. Like, dude's saving serious amounts of folks at his thing. Like, how do you... Yep. That alone, it's so the messenger is not cloaked in something that is palatable for you does not mean the messenger is off point. It's really interesting, but it's true that we need to be aware. Yeah. We need to be careful with all that kind of stuff. And I read your article. I think it was your article, Kevin, that you put out about him. And it's really good. It's on point. And it's like, how dare we dismiss? It just reminds me of like how we dealt with Jesus when he arrived. And I'm not at all equating Kanye to Jesus Christ, but it's like the religious thing of the time was like, oh no, that's not how we do or how we talk. And it's like, okay, all right. Well, guess what? It's the savior of the universe. And he's here in front of your face and you missed it. Because you're so religious. So I don't know.
Or Saul and Paul is another example.
Look at those dudes. I know.
We haven't evolved as much as I would have hoped we would have. I guess.
No, I know, but it's such a culture. There's so many. They're in the business of saving lives, and so sometimes those waters get murky. I think, but I'm stoked to see what kind of fruit is going to come of that. I think the last thing I read, and I should probably look this up, but something like 10,000 folks got saved. It's just like, that's crazy. No, that's like Billy Graham crusade stuff.
Right. It's like 1,500, 2,000 a Sunday.
Yeah. What is that? I mean, that's amazing.
American Bible Society has given away tens of thousands of Bibles for people associated. So that is why we have nominated him in our Mainstream Impact Award, which is a category that we set aside to acknowledge artists both within our industry and outside of our industry that are making an impact for God's kingdom with their music. And so we chose for King and Country, which are doing amazing work. I mean, they were on the CMA Awards with Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's gotten like 100 million streams. And that came out almost a year after their album came out. So Dolly Parton just gave massive breath into that song and took it to amazing places. So well deserved for them. Kanye is nominated in there. We nominated NF. A lot of people criticize us every year. Why isn't NF part of your awards? And he's actually not signed to a Christian label or distributed to Christian outlets. He's considered a mainstream artist, so that's why we don't nominate him, just like 21 Pilots or any other faith-based artist. And then Scott Stapp falls into that same category of Creed. Have you heard that album?
It's incredible.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Crystal, as a rock fan, if you haven't, I don't know if you've dived into that album yet.
Yes. But I'm a old school. I'm really starting to show my age lately, but I'm like old school Creed fan. And people, so lame. Oh, no. There's a reason why music becomes popular. It's because everyone likes it. And it's, hello. It's really good.
Creed is that band that everybody played, but nobody would admit to.
Exactly. It's like,
what the heck is that about?
Like, that's my jam, man. But no, I'm not going to tell anybody. I had a guy, I lived in San Francisco for 8 months one year, and I was up there working and being young, and I'm going to live in San Francisco. And I was at Amoeba Records, which is like so cool, hardcore vinyl, every record ever known to man, giant warehouse of a record store. And I bought a Creed record because it was like on sale or something. I'm like, oh, I love this album. I got mocked so hard by the guy at the checkout. He's like, what?
No way. Lame.
I know. I was
Own it.
like, oh, well, I love this band.
I'm
I
sorry
felt
you
so
don't appreciate
embarrassed.
fantastic
I know.
music.
It's like, I am clearly not cool enough. Anyway.
It's just because he's waiting for the store to close so he could buy it himself. That's all.
Exactly. He didn't want to admit it to everyone else.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
the new Scott Stapp record is amazing. It's one of my favorite rock albums of the year. And
that's awesome.
He's talking a lot about crawling out of the dark and messages that I think Christian music doesn't go to a lot. So it's cool. And then the final nominee in that Mainstream Impact Award is Skillet. Yeah. So we talked about them a little bit earlier. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, they are.
Jake, you've seen the difference of a mainstream tour with Skillet versus mainstream tour with some other Christian rock bands that we might not want to name.
Probably shouldn't.
Skillet does it right.
Oh, it was incredible, just like night and day difference. I mean, there was still profanity a little bit with, I think it was Dirty Honey that was on tour. Yeah, Alter Bridge is pretty clean in that regard. A lot more family friendly, let me put it that way. Just the difference that Skillet had, I mean, they were not ashamed. They came out right and said, right front and center said, hey, we're Christians. I think it was introducing Hero. It's like, it's talking about our hero, Jesus Christ. I mean, there's no bones about it. It wasn't like, well, it's kind of spiritual. I mean, it was like, this is what is happening.
This is who we are.
That's on tour with Dirty Honey and Alter Bridge. I mean, if we're throwing back to some of the Creed stuff. I think Alter Bridge has a little bit of spirituality to them, just a touch. But, I mean, you're talking about, some major bands. That show, I think, I kind of felt bad for Skillet, but the auditorium emptied a little bit after Alter Bridge did their set. And we're talking about the Mainstream Impact. I mean, Skillet was headlining that show for Alter Bridge.
Right.
So,
it's
I
huge.
mean, some people definitely stuck around, to hear what Skillet was all about. I mean, there's definitely a ton of people there for Alter Bridge. So
yeah. Well, and they're very well accepted in the mainstream rock world, so they do really well.
Well, and John, man, he just like with that article he put out this year, that was like punchy in the face, awesome. Just good stuff, man. Yeah,
Jake had a great conversation. If you're listening, go check out the episode with Skillet and John Cooper. They had a great conversation about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. All his writings. But
what we'll do here before we get before we start to our final thoughts here, just want to acknowledge the partnership with Rock on Purpose as well to help us with the rock categories.
Yes. Thank them. Of course.
They did a lot, helping us out in those categories as well. So, make sure you check them out. Rockonpurpose.live, I think, is what their address is, and Facebook, Instagram, all the funds. So what we'll head over to the final thoughts. Kevin, should we start with you or should we start with Crystal? Ladies first, Crystal.
So I'm really looking forward to this year. I coordinate my side of the things from California, and then I fly in, and so that is that's a wild ride, I tell you what. So looking forward to just taking things to the next level from last year. That's always exciting to see that in real time. So all your planning, like Kevin was talking about earlier in the show, like there's just so much work and detail and dotting I's and crossing T's that happens on the back end. So when people arrive, they don't really necessarily notice much except that it happened. Oh, man, remember when we lost our feed last year, Kevin? That was pretty epic. I was like, oh, it stopped. Oh.
Painful memories.
Okay. Just keep spinning.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, so like there's, so much that goes into it. So I'm excited to see, basically family when I come into town from Cali to Memphis, and looking forward to that. Looking through this list, seeing a lot of these folks that I have seen like at their first and second and third show, as a fan, just excited to hear new music, to see them start there, hang in there, and to be on a list like this. I mean, the disciple shows that I went to with my husband when we were dating, I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll come to a rock show. I was weeping at those disciple shows, just like, what the heck? He just brought out the Bible on stage, and I am like wrecked right now. What the heck just happened? So, really fun to see a lot of those folks on the list and receiving awards, and just that they really hung in there. And I'm excited to host a whole new slew of folks this year. And we have some really amazing student bands and artists that have come along on our label this year. So they'll be, involved in the show, and just kind of seeing that work that we, for lack of a better word, curate. I know it's like an overused word right now, but that little community that we're curating and helping to be a part of this show. It's a huge opportunity for them, Kevin. So I just thank you for inviting us into your world in that way. So yeah, I'm really excited.
Kevin?
I'm excited to see who everybody chooses to win. So it's always up in the air. And so I love logging on almost every day and seeing the charts and seeing the percentages and just going through the process with everybody. So that's what I'm excited about. And then the next 2 months are going to be award show planning. So mark your calendars. It's Tuesday, February 25th of 2020. Be at night sometime, probably around the 7 o'clock Eastern time, something like that. But we'll have more details here soon as the show starts to develop. What's amazing is it's a blank canvas. We get to paint for the next couple months and see what God has in store. It's going to be fun to uncover.
So great.
And from the staff side, like I'm just excited to see what everybody chooses as well. I love the artist involvement that we've had. Conversation I had with Ben Fielding that we have yet to air here, but he was talking about needing to win the We Love awards to add to his collection. So a little bit of campaigning.
Won. We didn't talk about that. They have won. They won last year for BPM award, Hillsong Young and Free, right?
No, he's Hillsong Worship.
Oh, Hillsong Worship.
Yes.
I know Hillsong United have won, and now Hillsong Young and Free. So maybe Hillsong Worship has not won. I need to check. I don't know that.
We'll have to dig back in the archives for that one.
Here's a fun fact before we close. Hillsong United received their first award ever from the We Love Christian Music Awards. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's very cool. So, I'm just excited to see what everybody else, like I said, as Christian music fans, just thought of this year. And said, I'm just happy that I'm not responsible for the final decision. That's y'all's thing. That's probably that's probably the biggest pressure relief is, for us, is that, we don't have to make that decision and everybody gets mad at us. Y'all be mad at yourselves.
Yep.
But no,
gotta vote.
So yeah, everybody, just take a look through the list of nominees. Like Kevin was saying, get some new music on your playlist. Just take some time to digest the music before you start casting votes, or cast votes as you listen to them. Either way, there's no limit on voting, is there?
Nope.
So
vote as many times as you want.
Perfect. So all right, well, thank you, Crystal and Kevin. This was a blast. We went several different places with this. Yeah, I'm excited.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you so much for having us on, Jake.